Hi, this is Gary with MACMOST.com. Let's take a look at using the live text feature in macOS. MACMOST is brought to you thanks to a great group of more than 1,000 supporters. Go to MACMOST.com/Patreon. There you could read more about the Patreon campaign, join us, and get exclusive content and course discounts. So live text is the name Apple gives to a feature where you can get text from an image. So the idea is it's a real image. It's not a PDF or anything like that where the text is actually there. It's just pixels in the image, like an image you took with your camera. So for instance in preview here I've opened up the image called treasure.jpg and I can zoom in here and I can see that these are pixels here. So this isn't text. This is just a photograph of a page of text. And with live text I can get the text from this. Now it works in a variety of different situations. So for instance here I am in the preview app and if I move my pointer over the text, notice how it changes to a text cursor. And I can actually click and drag and select text. I can select all of it. I can select just a few words, whatever I want. When it's selected like that, I can use Edit Copy or Command C to copy the text. Then I can go into another app, say Text Edit here, and use Edit Paste or Command V to paste the text in. So that's the basic idea. And you can see it working here in preview. It's not a feature of preview. It's a feature of the operating system. And in fact, one pitfall to be careful of is if you go in to edit the image here in preview and then you switch to one of the image editing tools like the selection tool, now you just be selecting pixels in the image and you can't get back to text selection. You would have to turn off the tools there and now you can go back in and select text. So preview is one way that you could look at an image file and then copy text and then paste it somewhere else. But you could also do it in Quick Look. So just by selecting the file here and pressing the space bar, I'm now in Quick Look and you see I can select text just like I can in preview. So I didn't have to actually open the file in preview or open it in anything. I could just use Quick Look and then use live text to grab some text I want from the image. But in Quick Look you also have some other things you can do. Notice this little button here at the bottom right hand corner. This means that live text is active. That macOS has recognized that in this image there's text and it can be selected. But I can also click on this button and it will show me the text it's found. And I continue to go and select the text, but I also get this copy all button here. Now I can just easily copy all the text and then here in Text Edit I could paste it. Now another app where this works is Photos. So say this was a photo you took with your iPhone, so it went into your Photos library and now you've got it there. Notice that I can select text here in the Photos app when viewing a photo and I get that same button at the bottom right hand corner and can use the Copy All button there. Now use for this is to actually scan text like a page of text in the example. But you can also use it for things like getting information from receipts. So for instance here's a photo of a receipt and you can go in here and say copy just one thing like maybe a number. Just copy that and paste it into another document. Or you can copy like a whole table worth of information there. If I copy that and then paste it in, you can see I get all the data. It's just going to put it in order here. It's not going to do anything fancy with columns. But it beats typing in the information. Now when you have a document that actually has actionable information on it, you can actually do more. So for instance here I can certainly select all this text just like before. But there are things in here, like for instance here's a time. If I move my pointer over it you can see it changes to this data selector here. I can click on it. I can create an event. Here I've got an address and I can click on it, show the address in Maps or look it up. I've got a website URL here. I can open the link. I've got a phone number here. I could call it or add it to contacts. In fact if I click the button at the bottom right you see it gives me all these options here. It recognizes that there's a URL, there's a phone number, there's a location, and then there's a date and time. And I could click on one of those and I can add a new event. Or I could click on this one and it will show me a map location. Or click on this one and it will take me to the website. So that's really handy so you don't have to go and copy the URL here and then paste it into a web browser or type it in. You can actually use a series of clicks and get to it without having to type anything. Here's another example using a picture of a menu. I could zoom in here on the menu. This is in the Photos app. And I can select text here in the menu and copy it and paste it in as text somewhere else. Or I can control click on it and you could see I get the ability to look up the text. I can translate it. I can start a search with it as well. So it's really useful for getting text out of photos. It's also useful for taking actions without having to type, like taking a date or a location or a phone number or something like that. But it's important to know what it's not really good for. It's not good for scanning large amounts of text. If you want to scan in a whole document or a book, you probably want to use some scanning software that has good optical character recognition functions so that you can easily scan in many different pages at a time. And it's not good for processing data. If you have a whole pile of receipts and you want to scan them all in and put all of the amounts into a database, it's going to be painstaking to do that using live text. And there are apps that you can get that specifically handle that kind of thing. But it does certainly come in handy in a variety of different situations, and it's also available on the iPhone and iPad. It's particularly useful on the iPhone because you can not only do it on a photo, but you can do it while you're using the camera app. So you can just point your camera at something and then grab a piece of text from that and take an action with it, like say call a phone number that's on a sign. I hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, click the thumbs up button below to let me know. I publish new tutorials each weekday. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out.